maybe the chief AI officer isn't quite the necessity that a chief digital officer, the value add. But there is typically somebody beside the CTO that's got an impetus to drive tech innovation and adoption and integration in an organization. Speaking of conversations that we've been having for decades, but now have a different kind of shade to them, where is the responsibilities from the CIO and the CTO to whomever it is being tasked, if that's a different person, and I think in a lot of ways, or a lot of organizations it is, tasked to like, okay, we need AI. We need to AI fuel, especially our marketing. How does that relationship look?
Ooh, yes, the relationship of the ages. Yeah, again, I think it has to be a full partnership. We can talk about in the context of the CIO and the CMO, that's the small domain in which, I maybe have some experience, but it isn't just marketing, right? I mean, everything of customer service, the way we're running sales organizations, the way we're running our product development teams, all of these things are changing with AI. Now, I think there are some fundamentals that people can invest in that are incredibly valuable and also pretty clear what needs to be done. And more than anything, it's at the data layer. And this is where I think the CIO in particular can really lead the charge in putting in place, the cloud data warehouse, cloud data lakehouses. And it's not just enough to throw all the data in one place. You need systems of how you manage and govern around that. I think it's a phenomenal thing for the CIO to lead because it's really empowering, not just marketing to use that infrastructure or customer service to use that infrastructure, but by having that infrastructure connected across the entire organization, now marketing has insights directly from customer service. We can actually use these things as new marketing channels, new touch points. So I think there's no lack of things for the CIO to do. We haven't even pulled the lid back on all the security challenges and compliance challenges. Believe me, the CIO, the chief security officer, they've got their hands full. I think the CMO really needs to take the responsibility for two things. First of all, how does this change customer experience? How is this changing the way that customers find us, right? I mean, we're in the process of watching classic search engine optimization on Google, go through a massive disruption, So what are these new ways in which customers find us and engage? How do we adapt? But I also think there's a huge opportunity for marketers to change the way they actually run marketing internally. I mean, so many of these things, I would argue I'd put marketing in three buckets. They thoroughly offend most marketers.
Let's go.
So,
that's what we're here like
yes, please. All right. Have them picketing outside the...
spit out some
Okay, sounds
good.
If I oversimplify, I'd put marketing in three buckets. There's been creative and strategy.
Yep.
Which is what everyone thinks marketing is.
Precisely. The tip of the iceberg above the ocean.
But we don't spend a lot of time in total number of calories on that. Yeah. Most of the resourcing has gone in the second bucket I'll call production and analysis. Yep. Because the work of actually producing and analyzing and managing things is just incredibly labor intensive. There's been a third bucket also of marketing ops, marketing tech that supports this. Again, same thing as creative and strategy in many ways, not very well resourced in this grand scheme of things. I think what's exciting about AI is it is really dramatically reducing what we need to invest in on the production and analysis side to produce equal or greater outcomes. Now, there's a couple ways you can deal with this. One is you could just pocket that efficiency and say, great, we got rid of half the marketing department. We're all good. I think that'd be a huge mistake.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Because this is a technology that is essentially everyone's going to get.
Yep.
So it is a commoditization. And if all you do is say oh yeah, we're reducing our costs, well, guess what? All of your competitors are reducing their costs in the same ways too. The only way you turn this to a competitive advantage is you reinvest that resourcing and that capability and oh, wow, there are things we can do with strategy and creative, the scale of experimentation, the speed of experimentation, what we can imagine, lean into that frontier. I think it's going to be the golden age for strategy and creative. I also think it's going to be a great opportunity for marketing ops and marketing tech because, again, to truly empower those creative and strategy teams, the investment we're making in this infrastructure and capability has to be rock solid. It has to really be structured the right way.
1,000,000,000%. Yeah, you need this. It's no, this is the goods. We've run it through. The back end is giving you an insight based on absolutely non-debatable data. Use your curiosity and your imagination to make this something that's going to put us ahead of our competition.